Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. If you're new around here, my name is Jessie, and I am in the middle of a daily YouTube posting journey in an effort to heal my fear of being seen, to break out of the traps of perfectionism, and yeah, just like use my voice more. I'm also in the middle of a move abroad in a couple of months. I'll be leaving America and heading to Spain. And in that process, I've been doing a lot of like introspection and investigation of limiting beliefs that I hold as I go through closing down my farm, closing my business, leaving my other W 2 position, leaving the state that I grew up in, and my family, and going through this journey, this transformative journey. And so this is a topic that has been on my mind and my heart for years. For years. I've hinted at it in a couple of previous videos, but yeah, it's just something that continues to resurface and resurface. And I just, yeah, I want to like spend time talking about it because a good thing about these daily videos has been that I am doing a lot of processing in real time out loud, outside of my head. And that's been really therapeutic at the very least. And so, yeah, if any of that interests you, I encourage you to follow along for this journey because it's going to be a wild one. So, as I've been doing a lot of reflection, I was journaling about how the men that I grew up around taught me to expect certain things of men. And I've been trying to figure out how to hold those experiences as true and not invalidate them or invalidate myself. Um, but while also not expecting all men to be this way. And I look for opportunities to prove myself wrong, that all of those patterns and those behaviors that I experienced in my childhood into my adulthood now are not representative of every single man. And this has been a journey for years that I've been trying to expose myself to opportunities to prove myself wrong. It sounds so dramatic, but it's a shame that it's not. It's a shame that it's not. Men in my life have always presented unsafe environments and caused turmoil. And they have been liars. They have been cheaters. They have been thieves. They have been violent criminals. And it's like criminal activity shrouded in love. It has distorted my mind. There's unreliability and absence and abandonment and needing as much help as children do from women. I've been thinking about where the roots of my hyper independence and my perfectionism and this and that have come from. I am raised by a really strong single mother, right? Who has had to do everything by herself. And what that also looks like is being the caretaker to men of all ages and spectrums and stages of life, right? I remember this time. These story times are going to be a little crazy. So, like, hold on to your seats. Okay. I remember being 6 years old, 6 years old, and I had a bully. I walked maybe like 10 minutes to school. Her name was Nichelle. Nichelle, if you're out there, you better be nice to people now. But I was talking to a man in my life who was kind of father figure ish. And he was walking me to school. And I was telling him about Nichelle, saying, like, yeah, she be bothering me, like she be picking on me. And then he was like, well, you give this message to Nichelle. He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out bullets and says, tell Nichelle if she continues to bother you, she can expect one of these and her mom. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll tell her. And I did. I told her. She backed off for a couple weeks, but then she continued because how outlandish is that to really expect such treatment, such an outcome? And that was followed by flashing the firearm and saying, yeah, anybody that bothers you, I'm going to them. Okay. Another story time. My mom was approached by a salesman. I think he was like a carpet salesman or like a vacuum salesman, something to do with a carpet or a vacuum. She didn't want the carpet or the vacuum. He was being a salesman. She didn't want the carpet or the vacuum. He was being a salesman. Pushy, 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 right? She comes in the house, tells this other man who was in our lives, we're all related to, was like, oh, what happened? She was like, yeah, I don't know. He was just like being really pushy. Oh my gosh, some people, da da da. When that got in his mind, he was like, bet. Listen, other man that's in our lives. Come on. We're going to go find this man. First, let's go to this hospital. I know somebody who is in a specific ward. We're going to get some infected blood and we're going to inject it in this man if he comes back around here. The man comes back around here. They inject him with infected blood, with an infection that you cannot get rid of. Why do I not want to say it? Because it's so vile to me. There have been truly countless times, police breaking into the house, middle of the night, other people threatening to shoot up the house and actually doing so multiple occasions. And knowing that, like, wow, the man, this man, that man are the reasons that this danger is coming to our family. And my mom has to be like a mama bear to protect against these men. Years later, that man comes to the porch saying, we have candy. You know, call my mom. Hey, mom. Yeah, he's on the porch. He's saying he has candy. Don't open the door. I'm calling the cops, Constantly reinforced. Men are not safe. Doesn't matter. Every single one had their own issues and a reason to have your guards up and protect yourself, because women are the safe ones. They're the nurturers. They're the protectors against the one who's supposed to lead, protect, and serve. It sounds so military, but yeah, like to be the protector and bring safety in a stable environment. Instead, you're the one causing chaos. And at that time, it was all very outward, like it was all very outward. And then as I got older is when I began to get exposed to the emotional and mental turmoil and psychological turmoil that interacting with a man romantically can bring. And it's like, oh, okay, more is clicking in my mind. I can't even talk to y'all. I don't even want to be around y'all. Anyway, and those were my examples. Both of these men, who at the time I felt like I loved and respected, they were my only examples in my life of men. And they also were always lying and cheating and thieving and scheming, objectifying women. Even me, I could be walking down the street with my head turned. You can't see that it's me. And you're catcalling me, all this and all that, in a committed relationship. Even like, and then I turn my head and you're like, oh, whoa, oh my gosh, oh my God. Yeah. That is so crazy to me. That is so crazy to me. Like, even the way that women are talked about to me by men that I love and respect, it's like, yo, even you, a person that I love and respect, are saying these things. How vile, how like immoral. And it's just for decades has painted my picture of like, what is a man's mind? What are their tendencies? What are their weaknesses? And it's validated over and over and over and over again. There's this like unreliability too that comes from like the abandonment that is so pervasive in the community that I come from. It's um like I was sort of hinting at in my other video, it's just like if a man needs something, all these strong women will corral around him and get him this and get him that and help and strategize and money and places to stay and like all that. And I'm not saying that like women, how could I ever make such a generalization that it's just like men only and not women? No, I'm just saying that for the most part, I only, that's not an exaggeration, have ever seen this occur for men ever. Right? And, but when it's like a woman needs help with something that's more acute, nothing all dramatic, no bail out of jail, no like paying for lawyers, no scrounging up money so you don't get murked. Okay? None of that. If she needs help moving heavy piece of furniture, if she's hungry, you know, it's like, oh well, I gotta see. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta see. I don't know where I'm gonna be at. Like, I don't know. I just don't know. It's like, well, nigga, what do you know? What do you know? What can you do? What can you provide? What help can you contribute? Are you always going to be in the position of needing a handout? And I've realized that, like, because I've seen this and see it over and over and over again, it's like, I need to be strong. I need to have a good head on me. I need to be ambitious. I need to be independent. I need to lift this 10 pound, not 10 pound, what is it, like 60 pound bags of cement myself. Get away from me, Home Depot employee. I got this. You can't help me. It's like, whoa, I be catching myself because I really do feel that fire like bubble up in me if I'm like approached or even just looked at by men. I remember me and my mom years ago would be in Home Depot. I have a lot of Home Depot stories. Oh, that's why I be constructing stuff. That's why I be in there. And I buy my own tools. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, being in Home Depot, the fact that I have Home Depot as a point of reference for a lot of my stories explains a lot just right there. Anyway, I could be on Home Depot getting lumber and circle saws so I can build my own stuff. Um and wow, I have a lot of anger. Wow. And then a man could just look at me. Maybe because he thinks that I'm cute or whatever. I would get red hot mad at him and start yelling at him in Home Depot near my mom. I don't care. Stop looking at me. Like, what are you looking at? You have a problem? Just like, it's not funny. It's not funny, but like ready to fight him. Like, if he were to swing, I would swing right on back. You feel me? There's a lot of like anger and a lot of assumptions and a lot of mistrust that I know that I still have with men. I was watching this movie a couple of years ago when I started this trend of like, I think it was like a romantic movie or something or a drama. And I kept having to pause it because I would be talking to the Lord about all my issues, and all the things that I've seen and just talking out loud to him about it because at this point, he's the only one that could do something about it. He's the only one that can do something about it and heal all the wounds, the father wounds, brother wounds, all the male wounds that are on me and giving birth to all of these other issues that I'm trying to solve. I'm realizing that that's sort of like on the first ish layer that is giving root, to tendencies and behaviors in myself. But yeah, I would just be talking to him like, Lord, like, why? A lot of why questions, just like, why do they think? Why do they do this? And even with other more dramatic things from my childhood, like, why did you allow this? What is the lesson? Because I've heard of men who are tender and kind and leaders and smart. They have ideas to contribute, expansive ones. They have hopes, they have dreams, they have discipline, they have resources. You know, I've heard of these men. I have never, listen to me when I say this, because I mean it with every ounce in my body. I have never met one. I have never met one. I have met a lot of men, of course, but I haven't known them to the extent where I can say all that is true. And so I'm trying to remind myself that these are wounds. This is not 100% reality. And I'm really not trying to carry it around for that much longer. So I'm looking for tips. I'm praying about it. Should probably start therapy and like just go to therapy and talk about therapists about all of this because yeah, I know that at this point it would have negative implications if I were to be in a relationship. And I think that's a big reason as to why I'm not and have not been for the past, what, like 4 years. I've been single for 4 years after a 3 year relationship. And it's because there's this really deep mistrust that if I let you in, you are going to ruin, listen, you are going to ruin my life. That also sounds dramatic, but I feel that down to my bones. You are going to ruin everything. You're not going to help. You're not going to support. You're not going to be mentally stable. You're going to be a criminal. You're going to be a thief. You're going to be a liar. You're going to be a cheater. It's like, oh gosh. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And then how I look at women, it's just like the resilience after having gone through what they've gone through with men. Because whether there's a woman who's in a relationship or a single woman that I talk to about this topic, they be saying the same thing. They just like validate it, which further digs me into this hole that I'm trying to get out of. Like, I'm trying to hear from you, you beautiful partnered woman, that you are experiencing something different. Please tell me that you're experiencing something different. And she be like, nope, she don't be talking like that. But like, yeah, like conversations always are just like, nope, men are men. It's like, dang, like really? Oh my god. What is the world to do? I don't know how to end this. I don't know how to continue this, but this was like a little rant of, yeah, just like what's been on my mind. I am going to continue down the path of keeping those doors open, knowing that it's not every single man in the world, because I don't know every single man in the world. So I can't make those statements. I can't make those assumptions. So I'm going to continue looking for opportunities to prove myself wrong. And if, wow, I changed it from when to if, child. If and when I do meet a man, not even in a romantic capacity, but just like meet a man who is just like, wow, you're a really good guy, who is just challenging all of my beliefs about almost half of the world. I promise I'm going to come on here and tell y'all about it because what? What? Am I going to regret posting this? I don't care. See, breaking out of perfectionism, that's the utility of being on here every single day. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. This was a little shorty, but yeah, I'm curious about your thoughts on this topic. If you feel the same thing, if you have any stories that you can share that challenges my beliefs or just like is a balm to my wounds, please share them below. Please. Please. All right. I will see y'all tomorrow in the next video. Thanks for listening. Bye.